real reason why you can't leave that job. About to go in deep, and we're going to talk about the real reasons why we as Black women have such a hard time, and any woman leaving that toxic job. And it might shock you. And so far, we've discussed your ability to dream. Some of us have gotten to the point we've forgotten how to dream. So we done taught you how to dream again. You've created a new dream. You've created a new vision for your life. You've created an exit plan. You got the exit plan. You know the exit number. You know that it is possible to do what it is you want to do. But why is it so hard for you to create the resignation, type it up, and send it in? I'm about to tell you the reason why. Brace yourself. Because we've been treated poorly for so long, we've been conditioned to expect the worst. I know. Wow. We've been treated poorly for so long. We as Black women, we've been conditioned to expect the worst. And I'm going to give you the details on it. We're about to go all the way in. Hey, Cedar Brown. Hey, how are you? So let's talk about it. Why are we continuing to stay in toxic jobs? Why do we stay in toxic relationships? Why do we continue to hang out with toxic family members? Why do we continue to do these things that are harmful to us? The supervisor is on you. He's doing all these things. And then let me tell you what it is we do. We, as Black women, because we've been treated so poorly, we've just been conditioned to expect the worst. And so we build up our arsenals to be able to deal with the mistreatment, to take on the mistreatment, to accept the harm. We've been conditioned to do this. And so what do we do in return? We take on more roles. We take on more roles, even though we're in a toxic situation. We try to fix it. We try to make it better. Even though we're not properly being paid. We're not properly being paid for the work that we do. We think that if we do more of it, then we will get the respect that we deserve. We will get the promotion that we should be getting. We will get the assistant to support us in what it is we need to do. Or we will step into a new role and not have adequate support and then put it upon ourselves to show up on 10 every day. Let me tell you what this has done to us. This has created doubt in us, doubt in our abilities, doubting our capabilities to do the work that the role that calls for. It has created harm in us. It has made some of us silence ourselves, or the company, the principal, the supervisor, they work to silence you. They did things to make an example out of you, to let those other women know, now if you try this what's going to happen to you too. They made an example out of you. And so in return, you were like, I'm just going to try to make it through. I'm going to try to slide under the radar. The number of women, including myself, who have said, I just want to go under the radar. If they don't even notice I'm here, I'm just going to try to get my work done, go home and do what I need to do. I ain't trying to be doing nothing else. I just want to go under the radar. That's because they've silenced you. Some of us started policing our speech. We started paying close attention to every word, thinking about everything that we say that comes out of our mouth, trying to make sure that we don't offend anyone. Even if you're telling the truth, even if you're expressing how you feel, we don't want to offend anyone. So we're going to police every word that comes out of our mouth. We don't want them to think that we're uneducated or unintelligent. So we're going to make sure that every word that we say matches the Queen's language. It's not going to get us to where we're trying to be. Then we had boundaries set. We started going to work. They told you to come to work from 7:30 to 3 o'clock. You were showing up 7:25, getting into the room, staying until 3:15. And then what did you do? You allowed them to cross your boundaries. When they came and said, can you come 15 minutes early? Can you stay 15 minutes late? Can you watch this kid because his parent is not here to pick him up? Can I leave him in the room with you? Can I bring Lil Johnny over into your room? You already got 30 kids. Let me sit Lil Johnny in your room. Now you got 31 kids, but the lady next door to you only got 20. She couldn't handle Lil Johnny, so they brought Lil Johnny to you because you can handle it. We allowed these people to cross our boundaries. When they said, can you stay 15 minutes over? No, I can't because I got to get home to get my own kids. You got to get somebody else to do it. That's why these young folks walk around here saying, get somebody else to do it. So we allowed our boundaries to be crossed, and then we wonder why we're being treated the way that we are. And then it starts to manifest physically in us. So then we start getting sick. We start catching colds. We're getting ill. Our arthritis is acting up. You got high blood pressure because you stressed out from the job. We begin to gain weight because we're eating mindlessly because we didn't have time to cook the healthy meal. We couldn't go to the grocery store because we were trying to get the lesson plans done, make it engage, and get the new thing out online to embed into our PowerPoint. We were doing all this after work. Work was over, people. So now you got stomach issues. You got these gastrointestinal issues. That's your body telling you that your body is manifesting in your body. Then we have some people who suffer from depression. We suffer from depression because we're so frustrated. We're dealing with so much. We don't know how, because if we let it out, then we're an angry Black woman. If we let it out, now we're weak. If we let it out, now you're not capable. You can't handle it. Let me tell you, the reason why we can't leave these jobs is because we've been treated so poorly. We just been conditioned to expect the worst. We don't think that we can find another job that's going to treat us better because we don't learn how to deal with the abusive situation that we're in. They just harming us a little bit over here. What if they harm us more in the new spot? We've been treated so poorly that we expect the worst. And this comes from years and years and generations of this. And at some point, you got to stop and say, I'm not doing this. And it starts with the things that we allow our jobs to do to us or the things that we allow in our life altogether. You're not sitting in a toxic job and not sitting in a toxic relationship because you would never allow anybody to treat you like that. Those people who leave, you wonder why people hop up and leave their jobs because they wouldn't sit in a relationship like that. That's a relationship between you and your job. When you got somebody who is talking down to you, degrading you, yelling at you, targeting you, treating you crazy, why would you keep going back there every day like you don't have any other options, like you're not educated, like you're not highly qualified, like you're not talented? Why would you do that to yourself? It's because we've been conditioned to expect the worst. And that's why one of the things that we have to work on is the words that we say out of our mouth and the way we talk to ourselves. That's the first thing we got to work on. Some of us have been betrayed by other Black leaders, especially the women. Some of us have been betrayed by them. And then we want to take that out on every Black woman that we find, see, or know. That's not okay. That's not okay. We got to do the work to heal ourselves. We got to do the work to repair the harm that has been caused. How many of us have really stopped to do the work? Some of us are still sitting in these toxic situations. These are the same folks. And I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about me too. I had to stop to do the work. No, I'm not going to be a part of the family or just people who are related by DNA. And some of us think that Uncle Willie molested all these kids and we're going to protect Uncle Willie, but we're not going to protect the kids. Now, Uncle Willie ain't welcome in my house. Uncle Willie can't come over here. No, my kids can't go to Uncle Willie's house. I don't care what Auntie so-and-so say. You know your husband is out of order. And you didn't say anything. And then grandma them trying to protect. I'm telling y'all, these toxic situations, that's why we do that. We've been treated so poorly. We've been made to accept things, to hide things, to keep family secrets and all these things. And so when we go into the workplace and they harm us, this is what is happening. We are being harmed in these workplaces and we're accepting it. We're saying that's okay. I'm just going to get stronger. I'm just going to get tougher. I'm just not going to say nothing. I'm just going to wear my hair a certain way so they won't say nothing to me. I'm just going to lose a few pounds so my butt don't jiggle as hard while I'm walking and they won't have nothing to say to me. I'm just going to wear a girdle so they can leave me alone. Look here, ladies. Look here. It's time for us to stop. And it manifests into illness. It manifests into illness. Oh, hey, my what my aunt say? I love something. Able to leave my job. I don't know what that word is, my aunt. But yeah, we gotta be willing. We gotta stop. Like it manifests into sickness. When you're getting all these colds, every time something come around, you catching it. What is your body telling you? For those of us who suffer from high blood pressure, what is your body telling you? When you are feeling depressed, what is your body telling you? If we would stop and listen to our bodies and stop listening to the doctor who's trying to tell you what's going on with your body, but your body knows what's going on with your body. Your body knows, and your body has the ability to heal itself. So my aunt says, I love when I was able to leave my job. And a lot of us are in toxic situations or in situations that no longer serve us. How many of us are sitting in relationships that no longer serve us? We don't want to give up seasons of our lives that are already gone. Those seasons are gone. And everything cannot stay. Every seasons change. Some people are there for a season. Other people are there for a lifetime. Jobs are not meant to be forever. Back in your mother and grandmother and great grandma them day, you stayed on your job for 30 years. That is not the way of the world today. Today, it is normal to have 8 jobs before you retire. That's the norm. We got to understand times have changed. You can leave your job, especially if it's making you ill. Especially, I talk to women who are being targeted. I talk to women who are being verbally and emotionally abused. And it's not always by your superior, because I talk to someone who is being abused because her superior puts a blind eye to it. And her colleagues are the ones who are targeting her, mistreating her, and by the superior not addressing it, putting a blind eye to it, and basically saying, those are petty issues. Y'all need to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that. But it's impacting this person emotionally. That's not okay. Some of us are in hostile work environments. And I'm telling you, this leads to a physical manifestation of what you're dealing with. And so we won't leave because we've been conditioned to expect the worst, because we've been treated so poorly all our lives. We don't even realize it. We don't even realize it. But if we can be honest and stop and just take a moment to think about how many toxic relationships have you been in? How many toxic family members? How many toxic jobs have you been in? And what took you so long to leave? What took you so long to leave? And did you even leave? And why does it take so long? Because we're okay with being harmed. We think that that's just a part of the process. It's not. As soon as the harm begins, you got to decide to end it. You got to say no. And people treat you the way you treat yourself. And that's why it's so important that you talk to yourself in a gentle and compassionate way, and not always criticizing yourself. Boy, I tell you, I can't remember nothing. I'm always late. I just can't figure this out. You know, I ain't good with money. That's not the way you should be talking to yourself. You should be giving yourself grace and compassion. You should be giving yourself grace and compassion. And when you give yourself grace and compassion, other people will give it to you too. But if you're super hard on yourself, super critical on yourself, and let alone be super critical and super hard on everybody else, you're hard on them because you're hard on you. My son had a situation, and when he told us about it, one of the things that I told my husband, I said, ain't nothing we can say to him that he ain't already said to himself. I said he is gold himself. He already knows what he did, why it went wrong, and what he don't need to ever do again. So we don't need to fuss at him. We need to try to uplift him and let him know we all make mistakes. It happens to the best of us. He done already beat himself up over it. And so we think that by beating him up some more, that's going to make him feel better. No, it's not. And that's how it is for a lot of us high achievers. My son is a high achiever. I know what it feels like. When I used to do stuff, get in trouble, stayed out too late, knew I was going to get in trouble. My mama going to fuss at me. She going to be mad. She going to be disappointed. Why did you get in the car? I ain't getting in the car with them no more because now I'm finna get in trouble and they ain't getting in trouble. I done already went through all of the scenarios in my head. I've already fussed at myself. I've already told myself what I'm not going to do again. And then to go home and get the fussing all over again. I didn't need the fussing. I had already done it to myself. A lot of us are so critical with ourselves. We don't need no more fussing because we understand what we did was wrong. And so we got to get to the point where we're not super critical on ourselves. And then we won't be super critical on other people. And then other people will know how to treat us. Let it go. Let it go. I did that. I won't let that happen again. I'm moving on in my day. You don't have to play it over in your head 20, 30 times. You don't have to keep saying it. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. But I'm here to tell you the reason why we stay. And we stay in these low paying jobs. We stay in these jobs that I can see if the job, I can maybe see if the job was paying you $150,000 or something, and it's hard to find something else. But we don't believe that we can find the next best thing. And I'm going to tell you, like Angel Reese said, the Bayou Barbie. She said, I know that my next chapter is good because I know who the author is. Some of us have no faith. We believe that the job is the only thing that we got, but you are highly qualified. You are highly talented. You are highly gifted. That's why they hired you to begin with. But you didn't sign up to be abused. You didn't sign up for people to mistreat you. You didn't sign up to rob Peter and pay Paul. You didn't sign up to miss the life that your kids are living. You didn't sign up to be an absent parent. That ain't what you signed up for. You signed up to make a difference, to have an impact in children's lives. You signed up to be a teacher. You didn't sign up to be a social worker, a counselor, the administrator, the behavior specialist, the this, the that, the nurse, the this. You didn't sign up to be all of that. But each time they crossed that boundary, you pushed the line back a little bit more. And then you pushed it back a little bit more. And then you pushed it back a little bit more. That's because we are accustomed to being treated poorly. And so only you can decide. You're the only one who can decide, I will not be treated poorly anymore. I am valuable and you will not mistreat me. I will not be treated poorly anymore. And you start by being the demonstration for yourself. You treat yourself well, and then other people will treat you well, and not just the lip service. Not just the lip service. I tell educators all the time, why are you asking for permission for a day off? Well, what are you doing? You grown as all get out. Half of y'all older than y'all administrators. And you going to ask, can you go to your doctor's appointment? You going to ask the secretary, can I leave today? No, we're not doing that. Like, I need us to stop that. And this is coming from a building principal. When the teachers come to me and say, I was coming to see if I can take off tomorrow, I would stop and say, why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? You've been grown for many years. I had a lady who was almost 70 years old coming to ask me, can I take tomorrow off? Why are you asking me that, ma'am? You need to be informing me that you will be taking tomorrow off, not asking permission. It's because we're so used to being treated poorly that we've been conditioned to think the worst. Oh, they're going to try to fire me. And if they do, so what? There are a bunch of jobs out here. And there's a whole bunch of ways to make money where you ain't even got to have a job. I was talking to one of my mastermind people last night. So amazing. She said, I followed your advice, Dr. D, and I tried what you said. We so used to working for free because we're accustomed to being treated poorly. That's why we work for free, because we don't think anybody will pay us. We don't think that we're valuable because we've been treated poorly in society for so long. For so long, we've been treated poorly in society. I don't know if this resonates with anybody, but I tell you what, it's the truth. It's the truth. We can sit and pretend like we've been treated well. Half of us don't even know what it means to be treated well. We can sit and pretend like we've been treated well, but the large majority of us have not. And that's why we sit in these jobs, scared to leave, even though you've created a plan. You know that you can use your skills somewhere else. You know you can do something different, but we're afraid to leave because we think the worst is going to happen, mainly because we've been treated poorly all our lives. And I'm not talking about people don't love you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the way we're viewed in society, the expectations that we have on our jobs, the expectations that they have of Black women in society to always show up on 10, to always have a smile on your face, to always be positive, to always go above and beyond, to always have the answer, to carry the whole world on our back. People, we've been treated poorly for so long, we expect the worst. We expect them to want us to do more. Talked to the girl last night and she said, I follow what you said, Dr. D. She said, somebody came and said, oh, I love your work. I love what you're talking about. Would you come and do this presentation for a group of parents for my organization? And she said she was nervous. She was scared. She said, and I said, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. I have a great message for your organization, for the parents. I've been doing this for 20 years. Do you have a budget for this? See, the lady was thinking she was going to be done for free because she had no expectation to pay that Black woman for her intellect, for her knowledge, for her services. But then when she said, do you have a budget for this? It made the other lady realize, oh, she want me to pay her. Well, yeah, we got a little budget. We can come up with something for you. Okay, so what's your budget for this? And she said, well, we can come up with about $2,000. Okay, we can do that for $2,000. See, because she was going to pay somebody else, but we're not going to pay the Black lady. No, you're going to pay the Black lady because the Black lady be so happy that somebody wants them to come and present, that somebody recognizes their knowledge, that somebody recognizes their expertise. We're just so happy to be able to share, to be able to serve, that we are willing to do this work for free. And I am here to tell you, slavery is over. We do not work for free. We do not work for free. If you need to build up your arsenal, baby, you need to follow me online. You need to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I will give you the words to say, and I will help you to reinvent yourself and to understand that the things that many of our parents taught us, they gave us the best they had. They gave us the best they had, and it was true for that time that they lived in. They lived in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Honeys, we're in 2024 now. We're in the age of AI. We didn't even move out of the age of information because now we're in the age of AI. Things are different now. We don't keep the same job for 30 years. That's not the way it works. If you're in the same job, you're being underpaid. Every time you change a job, you get a pay increase. But when we stay there for 30 years, you are going to get what's on that salary schedule. There are new teachers coming in making more than some of the older teachers. There are substitute teachers making $275 a day to come in and not have a lot of responsibility, just keep the kids calm. What are we doing, folks? Because we're afraid to leave because we think the worst is going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get a job. Won't nobody hire me. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to have to take showers in McDonald's. Girl, that is not what's going to happen. And if you sit back and let that happen, then something is wrong with you. But as soon as they fire you, as soon as they target you, as soon as they come after you and push you against the wall, all of a sudden you can figure out what to do. You can figure out what to do without being pushed against the wall. When they put you on administrative leave, you're not sitting there hoping and praying that everything work out. No, you're getting your plan together and executing the plan. You can do that without being pushed against the wall. But because we are accustomed to these toxic relationships, because we are accustomed to being mistreated, because we are accustomed to nobody sticking their necks out for us, for nobody extending grace to us, sister, I want you to extend grace to yourself. And because we've been in that situation, it's so hard for us to accept help. It's hard for us to accept help because we think they're going to take it back. They're going to take it again. It's because we expect the work. Because we won't even family members try to give us because now I don't want them to get nothing for me. We got to evaluate this, people. We got to evaluate this situation that we put ourselves in. We got to evaluate this. I need us. I need us. to think about what it is we're doing to ourselves. And I want you to know, if you died today, them people at that job ain't coming to your funeral. They might send a card, and they're going to put a new teacher in that room. They're going to put a new person in that seat. Whatever your job is, they're going to replace you and move on in their day. They won't even remember your name next year. You worried about those students, maybe them students ain't going to even remember you. And I know y'all don't want to believe that. I know we want to believe that all of our students will remember us. Nobody can teach the way that we did. And they just can't. I got to get them ready for the look here. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. These jobs have turned us into people who have silenced ourselves. We police our speech. We operate off of what the job says that we can do. We have eliminated our boundaries. We are doing things that we never saw ourselves doing for people who don't really care about us. We are filled with doubt. We are scared to take a risk. We're afraid to leave a job that can be replaced. We think that nobody will hire us. It's not true. I need us to know it's not true. I need us to know that it's not true. And so I just want to know. So I just want y'all to know, some of y'all, you don't want to do the work anymore because of the way you've been treated, not because you're tired of the work. You don't want to do the work anymore. You want to leave the profession because of the way you've been treated. How about you correct the way you've been treated and still do the work? And I know, because I was there. I was like, I don't want nothing to do with these school systems. I'm so tired of this. I don't want to deal with another parent. I don't want to deal with another teacher. I don't want to deal with another central. I don't want none of that. Let me go on about my business. But that wasn't the answer. The problem was I was sitting in a toxic relationship. And see, I couldn't just sit there because I don't do toxic relationships. I'm not in a toxic relationship at my house, and I'm not going to be in a toxic relationship at my job. And so I had to let them know, deuces, I'm out, because I don't do this. You're not going to create harm in my life. If you're wondering if you are in a toxic relationship, just ask yourself, is this job creating harm in my person, in my life, in my body? And if the answer is yes, you are in a toxic relationship. If you're not in a toxic relationship, you should be filled with love, enthusiasm, excitement. That doesn't mean that no challenges ever show up, but even when the challenges show up, you know that you can work through it. But when you're in a situation that is creating harm in your body, in your life, in your well-being, that is toxic. Whether it's a family member, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, no matter what it is, if it is creating harm, you need to remove yourself from it. And this is the part that we don't understand. And it's because we've been treated so poorly. We've been treated so poorly that we expect the harm. We're okay with the harm. It's not okay for people to harm you. It is not okay for you to experience this type of harm and think that you have no recourse, to think that you have no agency, to think that you have no responsibility. They keep calling me in on my off day. They keep giving me all of the tables, and I'm doing all of the work, and ain't nobody else doing the work. Since they are creating harm. They're creating harm. One thing I tell you about this new generation, they're not playing that. They're not playing that. I was talking to my son. He said, yeah, they're not doing this right at this job. He said, and I'm not going to do this. He went ahead to talk with the manager to let them know, well, I can go find me another job. Why y'all don't know y'all can find another job? I know we think that because they're young, their responsibilities, they got the same responsibilities we got. These 25, 26, 20, they got rent. They got gas, telephone, sewer, trash, all the things you got. All the things. It's just that they have not been treated poorly all of their time. And so they don't expect the worst. They believe that they can find another job. They believe that they have skills and talents. They believe that they can market themselves. They believe that they can network and find something else. We don't believe that. We don't. And I want us to change that. And here's the last thing I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to get on off here. I need you to know that when you leave your job, you get to take skills in your network with you. When you leave your job, you get to take your skills, your talents, and the network that you created on that job, you can take it with you. You do not have to start over from scratch. So I want us to stop thinking, I don't want to start over. Baby, you're not starting over. You're doing something different. You're going to your next level. You're going on to your next journey. And who starts on 7 and stays on 7? You're going to go to 8. But if we stop expecting the worst, you will see that the best is yet to come. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. I know y'all thought that I forgot about y'all this morning. I didn't. I'm here. I had to go to a breakfast this morning. I went there and I came here. I followed through. It's April. It's abundant April, baby. I showed up. Okay. So I'll be back here tomorrow morning. So catch the replay on YouTube. Come on over, catch the replay on YouTube, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with another live.